news, the world's insane. We must have someone to blame. It's time for Conspiracy Corner. Put on your tinfoil hat with me. Tell me the latest conspiracy. It's time for Conspiracy Corner.
So how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Ghislain Maxwell is going to be found dead in her cell.
Oh, they already said she's on suicide watch. She's already got paper, She's
right.
already got paper clothing, and all this kind of stuff. They're already pushing that kind of an idea.
Because if you're any of these rich and powerful people, right? I mean, you don't want her to testify. So how do you make her not testify? Either you have to incapacitate her totally. In some way, right? And the easiest way is,
and you know what? You know what I thought was funny? That one of her friends, quote unquote, actually came out and said that she has like tapes of people, right?
Thumb drives.
Right. And I thought to myself, like, what kind of a friend would actually come out? It sounds like that friend wants to get her murdered.
But she also, as part of that, she specifically said that, but she would never tell on Andrew. Andrew's her friend. She would never divulge the stuff on Andrew. So I don't know if they were worried the most about British intelligence getting her. I don't know,
I'm just wondering, like that she's at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. It's not the same place that Epstein was at, but like, why aren't there should be volunteers down there 24/7 watching who comes and leaves that place, because when Epstein was snuffed out, assuming that happened. I mean, there were people had to come there and then leave, and like this is like a crucial thing to because obviously there's some kind of conspiracy here, right?
Can we donate? Can we take up a donation, a GoFundMe, and get like $1 million? So there's 500 cameras trained on hackers at all.
It wouldn't even cost that much.
But they'll have a power outage.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's why you can't depend on the authorities to handle. You can't depend on the FBI. You can't depend on the New York NYPD. But you got to why aren't there volunteers here going down? Because if this thing gets covered up again, like she dies and gets covered up again. I mean,
can they actually again say that they had her on suicide watch?
Oh, they will do it. Why not?
Both guards were asleep.
I don't think
they'll get away with it. I think they'll get away with it.
It wouldn't be that easy for them to kill her.
They'll get away with it.
Yeah. They'll get away with it because they've been getting away with everything else. But I'm just saying, I think at that point it would be really hard for them to actually get away with it, because people still think Epstein, he just killed himself,
Yeah,
but it's also what does get away with it mean though? Like if they literally killed her and it was obvious that we were lied to again, isn't that the majority of people are just gonna say, well, it just shows we can't win, there's nothing we can do, because nobody's gonna go to jail
if she's smart, she has multiple copies of these thumb drives around in different locations, just like with WikiLeaks, doing Assange stuff at different locations, so they can always release stuff.
Yeah, if she's not actually working with Mossad or whatever, if this isn't all a ploy, and they're faking her actually being captured, right? If she actually is she should have multiple copies in multiple people's hands, that if they don't get a phone call from her once a week, it goes right to WikiLeaks or something. I mean, I really would love to see all this stuff just end up in WikiLeaks.
Right, yeah. Because when I saw the press conference of when they actually captured her or arrested her or whatever, the guy from the FBI, he said that they knew where she was this whole time. They were just waiting for the right moment. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Right.
So
Why?
You couldn't have at least brought her in for questioning or something. Right. So that makes me think of, why are you doing this now? Right? And then the fact that I saw this interview on the BBC where some lady named Conchita something, she was friends with Ghislain, and she actually exposed supposedly this whole relationship that she had with Prince Andrew back in 2000 or something like that. But she was saying that most likely it won't even go anywhere because of the immunity agreement that the Epstein had, I think it was in 2008.
Yeah.
Where he said that anybody who procured for him or like
Right.
helped him out or whatever, they are immune from any charges. But I don't know if that's for the case that because they're being very specific in saying that it's like, you know, the cases that are from like, I think like 2001 to 2008, but then she's being tried for the stuff in the 90s, or something like that.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. Also, and I thought there was also questions about the legalities of that deal they made with Epstein, because what didn't they say they definitely trampled all over the victims' rights because they weren't kept in the loop.
Exactly.
But I don't know if that nullifies the legality of that.
And also the fact that it's the agreement it's a federal agreement, not even a state agreement. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some big lawyers working on like defending what's her name, Maria Farmer, and like I think David Boyce is a big attorney, he was involved with the Bush versus Gore in 2000, like these big name attorneys. So like there are people who are working on trying to dismantle that, you know, that immunity from.
And she apparently got as a lawyer the guy that was the prosecutor that got El Chapo.
So right.
Yeah.
And you also have some people saying that this was, you know, like her arrest was just some sort of like a ploy to cover up the fact that in the Virginia Guiffre trial, I think she has a civil suit against Alan Dershowitz, and she has been ordered to like destroy a bunch of evidence.
Yes, that's right.
Giuffre has been
supposedly, they got a hold of evidence in that they shouldn't have gotten a hold of, or something like that they're really holding illegally, and so the judge said destroy it rather than hold it safely somewhere, which is
that I was thinking of Giuffre, not Farmer.
Maybe it's copies.
David Boyce is Giuffre's lawyer. That's interesting. The question
it is interesting how much is still coming out around this. I mean, basically, I sent you guys a link to that Political story that basically says that this, after Ghislain was known to be this horrible monster, she vacationed with Chelsea Clinton and was at her wedding. That picture's out there all over the place.
Right.
More pictures and stuff are coming out about Bill. So I don't know what's going on in that light. And I'm also questioning, with all this stuff out there, can Bill and Hillary actually end up going to the DNC convention and speaking? I mean, with this, I don't know. You know, it's crazy.
Right. And the other thing that a lot of people are bringing up is the fact that obviously she's known as like this socialite, right? Maxwell. That how is it that she had access to all of these people, and they're trying to I guess like they're trying to say that all these people that, you know, she's taken pictures with, or that they've taken pictures with, that they need to be worried about what can happen or whatever. But ultimately, you know, if you ask any of these celebrities or politicians or whatever, they take lots of pictures all the time, right?
Yeah.
Taking a picture with someone at a party, what does it really matter? But having someone at your daughter's wedding, that implies a closer relationship.
How well do you have to know somebody to go on vacation with them?
Right.
You know, or it's like, they're trying to imply that, oh, well, she was with everybody. It's so you don't even worry about it, you know, and that's BS. Yeah, absolutely. That's trying to water it down. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't think I think they'll do whatever they have to do to keep this stuff from coming out.
I would tend to agree with you
because the price is too high. You know, they'll do whatever, and whoever they have to kill, whoever.
Or they'll have if anything, maybe what they'll do is that they'll use Prince Andrew as a fall guy. You know what I'm saying? Like because his name is already out there, and because he has he's been shown to have, I guess, the closest relationship or whatever, then we'll use him as the fall guy. And then, you know, that'll take all of the publicity and everything. Everyone will be so entangled in that story that they won't really look at who else was involved.
Yeah. Right.
I interested in everybody else. It's like I said, that was my big thing with the Netflix story, you know, that I was just like, we already know about Clinton and about Trump and about, you know, and about Prince Andrew. I want to see the other names. I don't think
a lot of that thing got millions of views, and I don't think a lot of people knew that stuff. You know, we did, but a lot of people.
The Netflix. I watched the first I didn't even get to the first episode of the Netflix thing. I think it was it's a whitewash, and it's just like.
Oh, I don't. If you in totality, I don't think it is. You end up seeing.
You only watched 2 episodes, if your wife watched the other 2.
No, I went back and started watching there. Even the last 2 episodes has Clint. I mean, they whitewash all the Mossad connections and all that kind of stuff, and all that. The real deep state kind of connections all over with the other force of power in the world. But they make it clear that there's something freaky going on with a lot of our politicians, you know.
Okay.
And
did you see Caitlin Johnstone today in Medium? She talked about the I think it was like the cartoon criminal or the movie criminal versus the real criminal, and she had different pictures like A versus B, and the last one was Epstein is the cartoon criminal, and the real criminal she had the emblems of the CIA and the Mossad.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because, I think that Epstein was actually, I mean, obviously he was very much entangled in all this, but I think they used him as a fall guy too. And they thought that once they killed him, that the story would end.
Oh, I think this is essentially a worldwide thing, and basically the powerful all around the world. It wasn't just these few locations, New Mexico and New York, and the little Epstein, wherever the island was. I think it's a worldwide thing, and basically they're looking to nip it off as best they can. Yeah, that's my guess.